Quail eggs.
Dakar.
I'm putting I want to put that out there. I'm going to mention quail eggs later, and the fact that you used to be able to buy them from a magazine.
What store could you get them at? Could you buy them at Duck Do?
Is this like a underwear or Ligma thing that you're trying to do?
No.
Okay. I'm going to do it because I don't know what the joke is. What's Duck Do?
Quack.
Is that a new one? Did you just get that?
I learned that one. I'm really proud of it.
I don't think that was a quack sound at all. But it's really good. Well,
what up, losers? We're back,
and gentlemen.
Today, however you want to think about yourself, yeah.
It's like our 40th episode, and guess what? We're now going to start saying right up front what we're talking about. The Ice, Ryan Cahill, novella 3 after book 3. Oh my goodness.
And you know what? We're going to talk about it when we're good and goddamn ready, because right now we want to hang out.
Yeah, buckle up, idiots. How are we going to make an hour and a half episode without coming up with a really long bit that we do?
Read one quote per page of this 100-page book. Yes.
Yeah. No, we'll get there. But we're going to start with a kind of ESPN morning show style hot take segment called Fantasy Hot Takes. It didn't think best without a name before we did it. Okay, so we'll trade off. You do one, I do one, and then we spar in the court of debate.
Much like
in our virtual public square.
You're gonna attack me with magic, so I can't finish the case. We're fully referencing books nobody's read because it hasn't actually been published.
What the fuck are you talking about, man? Also, spoilers for unnamed book. Okay. Hey, you're the guest.
Yeah.
It's my show. You want to start?
Yeah, apparently it is your show because someone reached out for an ad and was like, "Hey, Avery, I'd like to advertise on your show. Let me know if there's somebody else that works in this company." Like, fuck you. Avery doesn't even check this email.
Can you ask your dumbass co-host if he's down to?
Here's my hot take. Most fantasy series should not invent their own language because authors aren't smart enough.
You had me in the first half, and then you lost me with the smart. Why is it a smartness thing? I'm sure they could do it if they applied themselves.
Maybe. I actually think Cahill's doing a pretty good job with whatever old dragon is in this book. I forget what it's actually called. The old tongue.
He speaks fluent old dragon.
That's all it is.
Isn't it just the old tongue?
It's the old tongue, but it's specifically what you whisper to your dragon when you think nobody else is listening.
You are my soul, Ken. I love you more than anyone here. I don't care if they die.
Little mama, let me whisper in your
ear. Okay. My question for you is, do you just not like the made-up languages? It's like tedious. It has nothing to do with whether they're smart enough.
I think I have two main problems with it. One is that usually they're not actually fleshed out enough to be interesting or impressive. Like, they're added in bits, but you don't actually get like a full vocabulary. You don't get a full... You say the same like 10 phrases over and over, or it's like in when Hadrian speaks Japanese.
Okay, well, that was good.
But usually I think they don't commit fully to the bit.
Do you mean Nipponese?
Sorry, Nipponese.
There's no Japanese in that book at all.
Excuse me. So I think that's one part of it. And then I think it can kind of take you out of the immersion when I feel like sometimes authors kind of have this like half-assed attempt. Like I think Eilington's rough use of Irish, like poorly done, is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is just kind of jarring and I recognize some of the words, but you're not really doing it well. So it's actually like pulling me out of this fantasy world because you just have modern Irish dialect in here.
I think this is like a somewhat related point. I mean, I think a lot of the time when people are either inventing languages or just, foreign words for things that we know, it's supposed to create a sense of place or immersion or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if it's done badly, I find it has the exact opposite effect. Like
Yeah.
I'm wrapping up Red Rising, and I can't remember what the word they use is for light bulbs, but it's like glow lamp bulbs, glow rounds or something. It's like, I don't know, man. We could just in this world have the same word for light bulb. It doesn't have to be a hollow lamp or whatever.
I
Yeah.
hate qubits, dude.
Yeah, and sometimes it feels like that. It's like, this isn't really helping me. This is, if anything, chafing me a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm on Mars because we have hollow lamps instead of light bulbs.
Yeah. And I think just wrapping it up, it's like not every author needs to be like Tolkien. Like everyone points to Tolkien, like he built like Elvish grammar before he even wrote the books. Like he wrote the books to have an excuse to put in his like new language system. And so it doesn't need to be there. Like I don't need to have that to enjoy my fantasy book.
Nah, he's like the author equivalent of a guy who has like a really complex model train in his basement. That doesn't mean you need to make a model train too.
It's like, you like this hot guy Legolas? Well, he's just going to say a bunch of Elvish.
Okay. I'm going to go with one that has come up many times in our coverage of Cahill.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting 90% of fight scenes would improve 90% of fantasy books. Thoughts?
I don't disagree. I think fights should be used to either dramatically progress the plot or to show a new mechanic in fantasy. And when I think about some of the more tedious like fights in our recent series that we read, like John Gwynne, where they're just having another ambush in the woods every 34 pages, or Hadrian when they're like fighting in an underground tunnel system that makes no sense, just like stabbing people.
Yeah, just
it loses it loses the novelty for me, and I'm not like turned on by the gore of it. Just like, ooh, punched another guy, sliced another guy, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it's like somewhat related to people trying to translate film into books.
Yeah.
Because, if you have 3 big fight scenes in a 90-minute movie, that is a decent amount of the movie, but it's also only 20 minutes. But having 200 pages of fight scenes in a 600-page book is like comparatively much more taxing on the reader.
Yeah.
And I think more often than not, when I'm reading these scenes, like, 1, they're fighting against people I don't know, and 2, there's no real risk of anyone I care about dying. So then I don't really know why it's there other than just the action of it. But like the good, I feel like the good ones are, 1, like you said, we see something new magic, new threat, whatever, that's going to have implications for later. You've got characters on both sides. That's the best version.
Oh, yeah.
Or in like a fun anime kind of way, it's like a problem solving exercise where it's like you get to see your favorite character coming up with some clever way of defeating an enemy. That's a Sanderson thing usually.
No, I think that's a good balanced take. But then like the ones that do well in one of those 3 buckets, or even combining all 3, like those are epic. Those stay with you. Those get you like fired up. But I think you're just like, do I need to read another 10 pages of Carathlin fights?
Teeth getting knocked out and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe that's just because we read a lot of fantasy recently.
It might be.
We're
like
old,
I'm more interested in learning like druidic lore, in Cahill right now than I am like Dane charging his way through a battle.
Yeah. Give me the Wikipedia. I just want the straight lore into my eyeballs.
Yeah, I agree.
Give me another hot take.
I think a lot of series should be a standalone novel or short stories.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I pause to offer one of my hot takes?
Do it.
Fantasy books aren't long enough.
Good. We're on opposite sides here.
I think your take, here's my response to your take. I don't think that's a hot take. I think a lot of people feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying you're wrong. You're probably right.
But here's my point. did we need books 7 through 10 of the Wheel of Time?
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, spoilers. I can't tell you that. Some really good Nynaeve stuff in there. Well, okay. I think that's a straw man. I think pointing at a 14-book series and saying it could have been a little shorter is a bad faith argument. That one could have been shorter. You're right about that one, but
especially one that I haven't actually read.
Yeah. But even then, dude, yes, I really did not enjoy large stretches of The Wheel of Time. It's still my favorite reading experience ever, largely because of the length. It was like finishing that was like closing this book on a part of my whole life. And there was something very satisfying about being like, damn, that was kind of the 3 years I spent reading The Wheel of Time. Like, I can't believe it's over. And I wouldn't have gotten that feeling if it were a 5-book series.
Yeah. So here's like a nuanced sub-argument for me. Some rare Sanderson criticism out of these lips is sometimes my beef with this is that big chunks of a novel feel like setup for future series or novellas or future, second eras of novels. Something about like Rhythm of War, how like half the book is flashbacks or kind of like character intros that are really setting up for maybe future cycles of the same series, but don't progress the direct plot of what you're reading.
Like will matter, but I imagine a lot of readers struggled with those.
And I think a lot of people call Sanderson like the Cosmere, like the Marvel of fantasy, right? And it's that same thing where it's like, look, Doctor Doom is here for 20 pages. Like he's going to be sick in 3 movies.
Doug Shitto.
And I'm like, this has like focus on delivering one excellent novel.
Yeah, I agree. I think if I'm going to flesh out my take to be less of just a hot take, it's more of like, I think we've alluded to the fact that I wrote a book. So I've like been looking at sending out. And so like I have a better sense than I used to of what, agents and publishers are looking for. And generally speaking, people kind of want stuff that's like, 100, 150,000 words at most. But I feel like when I look at the big successful fantasy novels, a lot of them are big and chunky, and I almost think it's like a selling point, for a very specific audience, which is fantasy readers. It's almost like, I don't want to pick up that 200-page book. Give me the fucking doorstopper, baby. I want to see what's going on in that thing. And I think that works. So I don't know. Like, obviously, I have no data to back this up. The publishers are almost certainly right. But speaking for myself and probably a lot of other readers, give me 700, dude. I'm here for it. I don't care.
Yeah. I think that's fair. When you find the good one, you don't want it to end, right?
Ooh. Okay, do you want to take about Stormlight or take about medieval fantasy?
Stormlight, because I think we're in agreement that their medieval fantasy isn't overdone and there should be more of it. It's okay to write a
folks,
medieval fantasy.
Medieval fantasy is killing it right now. I don't know. We don't need more fantasy with people in like
swords, dragons,
Victorian London
one.
with fucking sword canes. Like people still really like medieval fantasy. Okay, here's my take. If you think Stormlight is beginner fantasy, you didn't pay attention while you were reading Stormlight. Thoughts? Ooh. This is like an antagonistic. It's a hot take.
It's one that's tough for me because Stormlight was my beginning fantasy. Like in COVID, I'd made the most basic bitch decision to reread Harry Potter, and then I read Stormlight, and I was like, wow, fantasy's great. And now I'm a fucking nerd doing a podcast 5 years later.
Can I add some color for the listener? When I say beginner fantasy, I mean there's like a common perspective. Yeah, mostly on Reddit that it's like, okay, like you can check out Stormlight, but like then you can go on to the real shit, baby, with real lore.
Then you can read Malazan and hate yourself.
It's like, yes, Malazan is harder to read than Stormlight. I completely agree with you there.
I hear your take. Like one of the ways I think about it is actually like Malazan, which requires like a 200 slide deck and a podcast to fully actually understand what you're reading for 1,000 pages, versus like Piranesi, which has no like huge lore or
Mm-hmm.
history and is just like a very captivating read. And I don't think one's like better than the other in any way. You know, you can
Yeah.
get just as much done in 200 pages with no big fancy words or complex characters.
Yeah. I think I think this Sanderson thing is weird because like he writes very, very simply. Um, it's pretty PG for a lot of
Yeah.
it. His jokes stink. Sorry, Sanderson. Love you. Um, and he does a really good job of hiding his lore.
Yeah.
The books are incredibly like if you just want the plot to figure out what's going to happen to Kaladin, you can absolutely read the book that way. If you are a psychopath and want to talk about like the Aethers and the shards and
Yeah.
like the fact that there are somehow dragons in that series, that stuff's there. And it's fascinating how many people, like most people, when you read the series, like who are the sleepless? What are you talking about? So it's like you do kind of have to dig, but once you do dig, there's as much like
Yeah.
lore and weird shit in those books as anything. It's just,
Yeah.
he's very clever at hiding it because I don't think he wants it to be essential. I think increasingly he's failing at that. Like it's getting to a point where like in for a penny, in for a pound, but that's my take.
I do think I actually agree with you. I think I think he's done a good job designing it as like a intro and expert version of the series. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can read it and just have fun and it's awesome. And there's going to be a Sanderlanche, whatever. And I think we've had plenty of friends that just read Mistborn and are like, great, I had a good experience. Like, see you later. But then if you're in like the 17th Shard wiki and you're like looking up connections between novellas and different books and like mapping it all together, it's really fun. And it is really complicated and impressive that there's like logic that follows the whole universe, except for Sunlit Man, which was a mistake.
Yeah. I don't want to. Maybe we should do that one for the show. Man running around a tiny tiny planet to stay in the shadow. Physics, dude. Yeah, he really, man. That was his Andy Weir moment, I guess.
It really was. I think I'm in agreement on your hot take there, though.
Okay. All right. One more for you.
Being a good warrior doesn't absolve your sins.
All right. Counterpoint. Well, one, I agree. Are books saying that?
I think they often are. I think there's often a redemption arc at the end of a character that if it doesn't outright excuse their behavior, like through a kind of celebration of that character after their death, then it just forgets about the past and you're left with like recency bias. So my example here is Yvonne in Cahill. Like Yvonne sold out Beldoir to the dark side and killed hundreds of thousands of people. Never told anyone about it.
But
like did one last heroic charge and killed like 10 dwarves. And it is given like a hero's funeral, you know, and like everybody talks about what a great warrior he was.
Okay, well, counterpoint, Cahill made a mistake and just wrote Ivan out of the story because he didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah, that's decent too.
Which is my theory.
That's decent. Yeah. But that's the most recent one that's come to mind where it's like...
Or The Odyssey by John Homer.
Yeah, I mean, that's one too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely agree. I'm just wondering which books are sort of putting that forward. I think we've complained about some books. I don't know if they're glorifying violence, but they're not showing the psychological toll it takes on people. I think it's just kind of easy breezy killing in a lot of fantasy books, which I don't love.
I have a redemption shortcut example, which is Glokta. Glokta, the torturer. Redemption arc.
That's not how I read Glokta.
He gets like a little emotional payoff redemption arc.
He does, but I wouldn't expect that to like change the reader's mind. Okay, how about this? It didn't change my mind about him. Yeah. I think he still participated in heinous shit for most of his life. And I mean, I liked him a lot. Like, there are justifications for the horrible things he does, but he still does them. He has like a mantra. He's like, why am I doing this? It's not literally that, but that's like he asks himself that over and over and over. And I liked that.
Farda might be one of those guys.
Yeah. You saying people can't change?
I'm saying people can't change.
Yeah.
I'll give a counterpoint that I remember is Broken Earth trilogy. The Aeson, one of the main characters, is just like, there's no redemption. There's no real redemption. It's just like, yeah, I've done terrible things. Like this is just miserable.
One thing I have thought about a decent amount, and it's something I'm thinking about, like as I'm trying to write a little bit more, is that it's quite rare for a fantasy to be a tragedy.
Yeah.
It's not that everything always ends well, but there's usually a hopeful note to most fantasy series. And I think that's like part of what you're pointing at, is that there might be an all is lost moment, but that's not where the book ends.
Yep.
And life and in actual tragedies, sometimes people just die and it doesn't get better.
Right.
And you don't know where you go from there. But goddamn, do fantasy novels never end there?
No. And I think that's a great point. And also, like, the reckoning for characters that have done very bad things is often like a violence or fight sequence. Like they often their ending is kind of neutered by, like, the consequences of their actions are neutered by like a death, a glorious or like a villainous death. And it's never like everyone just kind of shuns them because they're a bad person. Like, like can we just have a realistic, like, hey, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. You kind of suck and I don't forgive you.
That's interesting. I feel like if there were, I'm wondering if like that could have been a more interesting direction for like the name of the wind to have taken.
Interesting.
Because it's not like, I don't know, maybe it's going more towards like global cosmic conflict or whatever, but like most of the first book is pretty small, like about a kid in school.
Right.
And he probably could have pulled off something like that if Quoth had become an actual anti-hero instead of a guy that the author wanted everyone to like and accidentally wrote someone everyone hated. So,
yeah. But anyway, that's my take.
Okay. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, fire it in there. I mean, who wants to talk about this book anyway?
I do. No, I don't. No, I do a little bit.
I very much do. Because then we can talk about the next book, which is awesome.
So. Yeah. See, that's the, eat your veggies. Okay. I'm going to go with the silly one and on a high note. People who refuse to read a series until it's finished are stupid and reactionary. That's my version of you saying authors aren't smart enough to invent a language. It's just fucking very mean.
I know. All right, I like it. Yeah, fuck those readers.
Hot take. Okay, I've seen a lot of people. Granted, this is Reddit, which is pretty much all dumb people, at least the people who post, except for us. They'll be like, "Hey, when's the last book coming out?" I started Name of the Wind and I started Game of Thrones, and they're not done, so I'm not going to support this author, brother. Almost every series gets finished, and if you don't want a series to get finished, you know what you should do? Don't buy the book. That's how you make sure a series doesn't get finished, is not fucking supporting the author. Just read it. Also, who fucking cares if it doesn't get finished? What? You've got a lot of time in your life to read many books. Give it a shot. You know what? You also might hate the book and not want to finish the series, period.
The Venn diagram of those people and the people who ask for like in-depth reviews of whether this book is worth it for them to read when they bought a copy or something is a circle. I hate
that
those
has
posts.
To stop. You can't go to the Red Rising sub and ask if you should read Red Rising. These are fans who joined a fan community. Of course they want you to read the book.
Except I love the people who are like, no, you should.
Honestly, like, man, not that here? Good. I like the memes. I don't know. Yeah. And I think people are like so dramatic.
Yeah.
So what if a series doesn't end? Are you losing sleep over it?
Enjoy it.
Go get a job, dude.
Journey before destination, you know.
Journey before destination, man.
Pain before pleasure.
I love Stormlight. If you didn't finish it, I'd be bummed, but there are a lot of books out there, man.
I mean, I enjoyed my 3 books a Wheel of Time. I don't really care what happens anymore.
Yeah. I think my related take is that people way overreacted to the bad ending of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Folks, we got like 4 or 5 really good seasons.
And also when you
Enjoy
show
it.
it to a new person these days, like Justin's wife Diane, like she watched it for the first time, it's like she had a great time, you know? When you weren't waiting on the edge of your seat for like a year, episode by episode, and then getting cucked. Like when you're
like
just
waiting
binging
18 months and then
yeah, when you're binging and eating popcorn in like a weekend, it's like, yeah, it's great. Awesome time.
Yeah. That was Caffey's response, was like she saw it way later. She's like, oh, like people really hated that? I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, she didn't think the ending was that great, but it's not like I'm going to find George R.R. Martin in Santa Fe and stab him. Like
he's easy to find. He's got the biggest, most illegal house there.
Yeah. Zoning has no power over George Ronald Martin. Do we ever figure out if RR is for Tolkien? Or it's just a happy accident?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah. Okay.
Never read Asoyaf, so not on me.
Waiting for the series to get finished.
No, I just don't care.
Yeah. Now I know the ending. I saw the show. It sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we talk about the ice?
Welcome to Miami, bitches.
It's hot. We got centaurs. We got dragons. And
it's a beach episode.
Yeah. We'll do this. This is our Persona Midsummer Break beach episode where we get to see everyone in bikinis. Hello. You know what I'm talking about, Travis.
It's the chapter you play when the wife isn't home.
That chapter among many other chapters. Okay. What do we want to do with the ice? Our options are kind of vaguely talk about how we feel about it, or just do the summary to center ourselves.
Let's do the summary and people will figure out how we feel about it along the way.
Okay, cool. Can you give me some like Zhu style sounds? Summary of The Ice by Ryan Cahill. The Ice is the story of a man who will do absolutely anything to protect his children, except leave them at home during a suicide mission to the North Pole. The novella follows Aeson, Dahlen, and Eric on their quest to find a dragon egg in the treacherous Arctic lands of Valesian. The Ice opens with a meet the crew sequence that has to set some sort of record for the greatest number of characters introduced in the fewest number of pages. Among the more notable crew members are a woman with severe PTSD from a deadly vacation in Valesian, a bunch of sellswords, and a mage Aeson knew from his time in the Order, and an elven craftsmage. Names excluded because I'm refusing to remember them as an act of protest. After a relatively uneventful cruise to the shores of Valesian, Aeson and co set out on foot to carry out Operation Walk Around until we stumble into a dragon egg. As if in response to my complaints about the Grathland sequence in Book 2, Cahill spends most of the novella sending wave after endless wave of previously unknown beasts out to kill Aeson and his darling sons. The monsters include ice wyrms, ice bears, ice ghosts, ice centaurs, saber-toothed tigers of the ice variety, and, eventually, a pretty friendly druid named Amat Kai. Amat Kai is a seer druid who lives among the ice centaurs known as the Dakar, and he tells Aeson that he foresaw his coming, which does make me wonder why he didn't ask the ice centaurs to stop murdering Aeson's people as they marched across the continent. After a bit of time in the lore corner, Amat Kai and the dragon Kakulkan gift Aeson with a dragon egg that may or may not hatch at some point in the next 1,000 years. Fingers crossed. The gang schleps back across the ice to their ship, aptly named the Blood Wake, and they find that most of the remaining crew has been killed by those goddamn ice centaurs. Aeson's mercenaries decide to put the sell in sellsword by selling him out to the Empire on account of all the murdering the friendly seer druid failed to prevent. And the Blood Wake is intercepted by who else? Farda, who is everywhere at all times. Aeson escapes after getting a few more crew members killed, and he returns home with his children and the Valeris egg completely intact. Thank God we didn't know any of the 100 crew members who died, or this book would have been really sad. The end.
I think you only remember the names that you think are cool. Kakulkan.
Kakulkan, the 1,000-year-old dragon who gives gifts.
What a fucking
That's my kind of guy.
That guy rocks.
That's my kind of guy.
You also forgot about sea snakes. One more animal villain that kills people in this.
Fuck.
I can't believe you didn't write that down.
I think I got them mixed up with ice wyrms.
Yeah.
I also think the ghosts weren't the ghosts, just the Dakar.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Except they're really, like ghosts. They're silent but deadly.
Felt ghosty.
So what do you think of this parenting novel?
That feels like a loaded question. You know I didn't like the parenting stuff. Don't ask me shit you know the answer to.
It's tough because Kyle's one of the nicest guys I ever met, and he has a beautiful family. But I feel like
he loves his kids so much.
He loves his kids so goddamn much, and it's beautiful, and I respect the hell out of that. But he definitely like knew he was having kids and wrote this book as a knee-jerk
Did you do a
reaction.
timeline check? Was this pre or post?
You know, I've got no idea, actually. That's a great question.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because for the purposes of this conversation, he either was a father or was about to be a father when he wrote this.
And we're not doing any additional research.
Man, I have a lot of thoughts. Okay. I'm going to start writing level.
Okay.
The novellas are weird because it's not a short story where you're like Flannery O'Connor and you're like, I got 30 pages to introduce you to someone and show you an important moment in their life. We know Aeson. We know most of these people.
Yeah.
And that is the assumption, right? Like that Cahill's making. You've read these books. However, it still felt too quick. I think a lot of the emotion in this book felt outsized and a bit rushed. I just felt like from the moment we saw Aeson, he was like, my dead dragon, my dead wife, my boys can't die. I got to save the planet. Oh my God, I promise you I will keep you safe. And it was just like scalding hot emotion from the jump. And I get why that would happen in a short thing, but I still think it should have been something that he built towards, not started from page 1. Thoughts?
I agree. I think the feelings in this book are presented on a platter, and they're very external and quote driven. Like this book is chock full of, it feels like quotes he was experimenting with as an author to try to describe different emotions. Like grief has 7 different paragraphs, all with their own fancy quotes about, you know, tears are one thing, tears of grief come from a well deep within, you know, it's that kind of stuff. But it's all kind of exposition through character dialogue. And I don't think it doesn't feel as natural as it could be.
There's so many heart-to-hearts,
but then also like the fear stuff, like the first conversation you have with someone about Valesian is from the Malari PTSD chick. And she's like, her opening line is like, have you seen a man hold his innards in his own hands? It's like, okay.
well, yeah, I have. I'm 400 years old, survived the fall.
So it feels like he immediately frames how he wants the reader's emotional state to be and how he wants to interpret everything. And it's just kind of like, it took a little bit of the mystery out of it compared maybe to the fall, which is unfair to compare to because we know characters in this versus those are all like new characters. But I feel like the fall was very much like we're seeing the response that characters have to events happening. And this was characters telling us how they feel about things.
Yeah, maybe it is some version of the old and very annoying show but don't tell conversation.
Exactly.
And I don't know, it's something that I like a lot about this series, right? That people talk to each other about their feelings, the whole mental health conversation we had. But sometimes on a writing level, if you are having, especially in this book, which is so short, when you have like kind of 10 heart-to-hearts that start the book, it can feel like a little bit too much. And you might need to withhold some things from the reader for the sake of art or whatever.
And also, your point's valid. Why the fuck are you taking your kids on this trip?
That just didn't make any sense. Well, I know that the reason is they're adults.
Yes.
But that goes against the other thing, which is I must protect my kids.
Right.
It's like, well, they're good. They're grown. You don't need to. It's not like you got a little baby chicken and you got to keep it alive. If that's how people feel about baby chickens.
And also knowing what we know about the larger universe is like he could have sent his sons on a variety of different missions across the continent at this time. Yeah. There's a lot going on.
Send them to oversee the Starhawks.
Yeah.
Somebody got to be sending letters.
Plus, like, they're warriors, but they're not like, I don't know. They're not Verma who can blow up mountains.
Yeah. How do they not have the spark? They should have the spark.
Something's going to happen. I feel like, we'll get it. They're going to become knights or some shit. I don't know.
Give them some sauce.
They're going to get saucy.
So
let's jump in.
Okay, let's jump. Yeah, you know what? Let's jump in.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn, do we get we get on the road quick?
Cameo City, King Arthur's
Yeah.
here.
King Arthur, goddamn, I miss him. Goddamn, is he a lot cooler than his kid?
Belina Luna's here. Everybody's here.
The classic Belina, she comes in, sexually harasses someone, leaves. Good job. She's got to stop. It's inappropriate what she does to people.
It's wild. Why are all these people here? That was so unnecessary.
She needs to stop telling people she will have sex with them. It's not a way to be. And Dane. Get a little Dane action.
Oh my God, yeah, we get everybody here.
Yeah, this is fun. I was so excited to see Arthur, though.
I love some of Aeson's early parenting statements. I know we just kind of shit on them, but the first one where he's like, I taught my sons how to kill efficiently. Why don't they love me? It's just like, oh my God.
I gave you everything. Sword lessons, 5 a.m. every day. Come on.
They never slept at home once in their lives.
You know what blew my mind? I texted you about this, so you do know. Man, I thought Eric was older than Dahlen.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Because Dahlen's the one we see fucking up all the time, and Eric is just kind of like a stoic soldier.
I know.
Who lost his mind in the desert, but alas, who didn't?
Preview, book 4, Dahlen is way cooler.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. This did make me like... Okay, talk about some parenting stuff I loved. It was really cool seeing Aeson like kind of observe and think about his kids. Like, I liked seeing someone who knew them so well getting the outside perspective of them and talking about like how like Dahlen's very intense and like works super hard at the sword, and he felt like Eric would never probably be on his level. He's like, Eric's a fun guy, man. He didn't got that dog in him.
It's amazing how well he did in book 1, capturing those characters in one like bar sequence. Like, Eric throwing axes at the pub, man. Like, that's such an iconic scene to stay as a consistent thread through all these novels. I don't know. It's well done by Cahill.
Yeah, and that's like one of the real joys of multi-POV thing is like being with a character and then you pivot and someone else is looking at them. It's like, oh, interesting. I hadn't thought of them that way. Like it's really hard to do, but lovely when you get it.
Yeah, and I did think the first few scenes here about like fatherhood and loss were good. Yeah. Although to our point, like it came on abruptly, but then it's more just the repetition and not really feeling like we got something different throughout. But
and on a related note, I mean, there's some sweet moments where they're talking about their mom. Like that's a character who, as we've joked about, has really taken a backseat to the dead dragon. But we did get to think more a bit, you know, like Eric and Dahlen, right? Like that's horrible for them. Like they aren't experiencing eternal magical torment like Aeson is, but you know, sweet moments with the whole apple thing.
Yeah, but
pie making lore.
We don't have time for your sweet moments. We're going off on an adventure.
Who wants to die?
Shitty little boat with, for some reason, sellswords. Even though Aeson has thousands of people that would fight with him and die for him, he brings 50 merchants on his boat.
What's your price? What's your personal price tag to go to Valesian on this mission?
Well, given that the woman starts her description with, I'm going to continue my quote. They like to skin their prey, hack off limbs, and use them as warnings. They're ghosts, demons of the ice. I'm out.
I don't think the price exists because I'll die. So what am I going to do? You can't. Hey, if you die in debt, you've won.
You know, you got it good.
Hey, you can't spend money in hell.
Captain Kayala has a good in all this. She just sails the boat, chills out for a couple weeks, and comes on back with a ton of gold.
They negotiate in advance.
I mean, she does send her lover on the trip as sacrifice, but hey.
I like that negotiation was started with someone went to negotiating school, which is start with a completely unreasonable offer, a la Travis in fantasy football.
Hey, we made a really good trade this week.
Gonna need full payment up front for this 5-month journey.
Have you heard of a 2-for-1 trade in fantasy football?
I would imagine most of our listeners, you think well, that's a weird thing because 99% of our listeners are male. Do you think they play fantasy football?
I think so. There's a couple of you in there. Welcome.
Definitely a couple.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Okay.
We just got back from our fantasy draft in Chicago. It was amazing.
Yeah. We were forced to attend a rave.
Yeah.
which I didn't love, but was a cool cultural experience. How about that?
It was a great weekend, and we made it 30 minutes into the rave. So, which was a great decision.
Not an exaggeration.
No.
Really did leave after 30 minutes. That's all good.
No.
Okay. We're on the water. We're sailing. Honestly, man, ain't much till we get there.
No.
I was really confused when they disembark, they're like, be back in 2 moons.
Right.
And I read that as 2 nights.
Moons have been
It's a 3-day, 2-night vacation, baby.
It's a month. It's always been a month.
Yeah, I figured that out quickly, but at first, like, I don't think he has enough time to go find an egg, man. And you told them to leave if you weren't there.
They don't have much of a plan besides following this clearly deranged woman who doesn't want to be there.
That was the crazy part is I'm not knocking them for trying, but just to show up on like a continent, be like, we got to find a dragon egg. I imagine just like sailing up to North America.
Right.
All right, got to be an egg here somewhere. We got a
this looks like India to me.
I wonder if he thought there would be more dragons. Because when they got the description of Valesian, there were fucking dragons everywhere, man. You couldn't spit without hitting one of them, which wasn't the case. They're only 50.
Certainly not.
Yeah.
But they are big.
Oh, well.
But anyway,
Big
before
fellas.
we get the dragons, we have to fight off a lot of different attacks.
Yeah.
But
Have you ever played like an old RPG with a random encounter rate that's way too high?
Yes. I mean, it reminds me of like Pokemon when you're trying to walk somewhere fast and you're just constantly getting the...
Let me fucking heal. I'm poisoned. Weedle poisoned me. Yeah. Rattata number 400.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't want to be
what
here.
happened to Aeson on this journey.
Yeah. It's like fucking sea snakes. Oh no. And then
Worms.
20 people get like their throat slit on watch, which was dramatic.
That one was pretty
dramatic.
Badass.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we get like the Lord of the Rings mountain pass sequence. Like K-Tomb. There's some funny, I don't know. I don't have a ton to say about this other than they should have brought more healers. Crafts mages are really cool.
I need all crafts mages in this because we've got this person and then we got the person who helped complete the sewers in Tikka.
Yep.
Which wasn't as cool as what we got here, but alas, I want to see what they're up to.
Yeah. But those are like my big highlights from the early attack sequences here.
Can I talk about the Dakar a little bit and their border enforcement policy?
Yes, you may.
I think it's too harsh.
What
I feel like they're a bit reactionary from the Elven invasion that they won 8 million years ago.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like, just ask at least once.
Yeah, this is a larger point,
here?
But like, you
Please
also
leave.
have druids that know what's up.
Yeah, Ahmad Kai, there's blood on his hands, man.
Yeah.
He was looking through the magical flock camera.
Yeah, there's some explanations offered here, but certainly not enough. Like,
not enough, no. Yeah.
It's this passive, like, non-intervention thing, and yeah,
this is just like the classic many problems that you run into when you try to have people see the future, which is fine. Like, obviously, I don't give it. This affected my experience, not at all.
No,
but yeah, it is what it is. Okay,
it's a chaos theory nod in the multiverse, and I understand that because he has a separate quote, which is as much your fault as a hurricane in Loria is the fault of a butterfly flapping their wings in Carvos. So I know that Cahill knows the Butterfly Effect movie.
He does know this, yes. Oh, unrelated note, I was reading the end of third book of Red Rising.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember him quoting Good Will Hunting?
I don't think so.
There's a whole scene where a character hugs Darrow and says, "It's not your fault." And he's like, "Fuck you." And then he's like, "Get away from, don't touch me." And then he cries.
Stop it,
and
Robin
they said,
Williams.
"It's not your fault" 5 times in a row.
It's true to the film. Yeah.
So funny. I mean,
That's
classic scene. There's
man.
nothing wrong with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Put that on
But
my
if it
to be
ain't broke,
watched again.
maybe don't put it in your book. Yeah, I tried. Did I say that on the pod that I made Kathy watch Good Will Hunting before the Grateful Dead cover show,
Yeah.
somewhat as a prank? She'd never seen it before.
I bet that was put her in a good mood.
The other time that I kind of tried to prank her with a sad movie because she's a crier was I put on Grave of the Fireflies, and I was like, "Oh, it's a Ghibli movie."
God.
I like truly like 20 minutes in. I think we had to turn it off because she was like already crying. She's like, I think I know where this is going, and I don't want to watch this.
That's
All
what
right, fair
happened
enough.
that's what killed our Spy Family wholesome viewing experience in this household is, spoiler alert, but the newer season of Spy Family starts with like a horrific war sequence for 2 episodes.
Oh, what the fuck?
I'm like, whoa, this is supposed to be
She's supposed to be hanging out with Bond the dog.
Yeah. I don't want to feel things.
We've gotten far away.
We're really off topic here.
So I called them centaurs. I'm aware. Listen, centaurs got four hooved legs. These guys got 2. I don't even know. Do they have hooves, man? Why am I so?
You're really fixated on that. No, I have.
That?
I think they're bipedal, just 7 feet tall, and with black scales everywhere.
Big fellas.
Yeah,
which they make themselves, and
yes,
stick into themselves like when Lil Uzi Vert put that diamond in his head.
Hey, which got snatched at a concert, I think.
That's the grossest thing in the world.
Give me your forehead diamond.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. Moving on. It's gross. So gross. Okay, so these people have a real strong border policy because the elves at some point. Man, malicious elves in this universe, by the way. These are not like chill. I feel like they're always up to shit. They're kind of violent.
Everybody's violent, man. That's the truth.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little racist of us, but listen, we're just going on what we've been told by every character in this book when they're talking about elves. So yes, they've retreated into the ice. They put crazy scales on themselves, and they're like the tenders, really, of the dragons. Mm-hmm. I guess we do our little lore corner on the nature of Valesian dragons here.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty much once they make it through the K2 movie reenactments.
Yeah, the dramatic someone falling off a cliff, snatching that, it's tried and true, man.
Clearly a weather druid just throwing storms at them.
Yeah.
But actually, my favorite part of this, I have to say before I forget, is like 90 people die in the sequence of their expedition crew, and they make sure to talk about the one guy who rolls his ankle and give him like 5 sentences. I was like, what? It's like, he might not be able to walk that hard.
More pages on sacrifice than on the giant people.
Exactly. But yeah, then we get Aeson face to face with Kakulkan, the largest dragon on the continent.
Big Chungus. Yeah.
Big Chungus. 1,000 years old. Something like that.
Yeah. So what do we know? 1, these guys are less dependent on being bonded to people.
Yes.
So they said, did we know this, that dragons needed to be bonded to people to find their fire?
Yes. That was a big plot point of book 3 that you ignored.
Really?
Yeah. That the god Varen took their fire away because they were too angry.
Oh, shit. Yeah. They're tempered now by yeah. Okay. Yeah, when you say it that way, we absolutely knew that and talked about that. Anyways, not so with the Valesian dragons. So they got some different god stuff going on, which...
they do.
And can you answer me this, because you've read a little bit of book 4? Are we getting into more god stuff? Because I want it.
We definitely are.
Good. I'm very excited about that.
But what's fascinating to me here is that, like, I didn't know gods were continent based, like,
no, see, we did know this.
No, but I know, but like, it feels funny to have a universe where gods are only purveyors of like,
I am the official god of Dallas Fort Worth. I will not go to Houston.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
I'm the Oceania god. You may have forgotten about me all the way over here.
It's funny because it's like not really that foreign of a concept when you say it, like, I'm the god of the water, I'm the god of the wind, or whatever. But it's like, I can't leave this land, man.
Yeah, but apparently they can immigrate, so they can move
if their
around.
People bring them along or something.
We do get a little bit of this in book 4, but anyway,
exciting times.
Like, there are gods. There's also like a little multiverse nod. Amat Kai has seen many futures, many different paths. I thought he
Yeah.
had a funny intro where he's like, he meets Aeson. He's like, please do not burn me alive again.
That was very funny.
Yeah.
Because I did a bit of a double, I think, because I'm dumb. I was like, what the fuck is this
It
man
was
talking
very
about?
funny.
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in
I
a
wonder if this
Makai,
guy knows the stew god.
yeah. So I initially thought he was Roka, the stew god.
Yeah.
And he will never be referred to as anything
The
else.
god of stews and pies. Yeah, because I won't remember his actual name.
But what was interesting, there's like a throwaway line where Aeson's like, I've seen this guy before, but there's no way that was 400 years ago,
Yeah.
which is silly because he recognizes all his friends from 600 years ago. But
yeah, they still all hang out.
Yeah. So clearly I don't know. There's clearly something happening there. The druids had some involvement in the fall that we're not aware of.
Yeah. My only note is every time the druids get involved, I'm in, and it's fun. And
Druids
I'm
rock.
glad that they're like pretty consistently a part of this series now.
100%.
Bring it on, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's pretty down with the mission, by the way.
Yeah.
Gives him an egg. And now I perform my greatest feat, quail eggs. I'm bringing it all back, baby. When my brother and I were very young, we ordered quail eggs and an incubator from a magazine, and it just got mailed to us.
Oh.
And we had like 4 or 5 quail eggs in this hot light, and we just set it up in my brother's bedroom. And they were like, turn it on, rotate them every once in a while. Congrats, you got quails.
Wow.
So, and at that age, it didn't even cross my mind. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with the quail? I almost don't want it to hatch.
Right.
None of them hatched, but we did, after a period of time had elapsed where like these things ain't coming out. I guess we got to crack open these eggs and see what's going on in there. And something formed in one of the eggs.
Like an embryo.
Like a little hideous bird embryo with something like a beak and a leg or whatever, but it just couldn't get over the goal line. So that was our fucked up version of sea monkeys that we had as a kid.
Yeah, that's like half a Deliverance story from your fucked up childhood. Like it's like on the way to it.
You didn't buy quail eggs?
No.
Or have you heard of anyone buying this sort of thing?
No, we did like sea monkeys, like normal weird millennials.
From the Great Salt Lake.
Yeah, that's true. Millions of years old.
Brine shrimp.
Brine.
Great Salt Lake, stinky. If you've never been, folks, so nasty.
Very stinky.
Wow.
All those lakes are stinky.
At max, like 20 feet deep. It's fucking crazy.
And you float.
Lake. Oh, yeah. So buoyant.
Yeah.
Kakulkan. What's his name?
Were you confused when Aeson got the egg and he didn't say, this egg is worth 40 eggs?
You should be able to watch a little porn at work. I've never gotten this far. So what did you think about the whole, it could take 10 million years for this egg to hatch. I don't know. Good luck.
Yeah, it seemed like they gave him the most primed egg they could think of.
This thing's juicy.
This is a good one. You're going to like this one.
It's funny because it's such an interesting idea, except we already know that it did hatch, so it's not that interesting for us.
I know, it kind of did. It takes a little bit of the intrigue away. But I guess it's fun if you think about how fast the events occurred immediately after this book. Like, he was like, yeah, this may not hatch in my lifetime, but I'm putting my cards on the table for the future. And then he meets Kaylin and it hatches in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Can I detour us to talk more broadly about the series?
Yeah.
We talked a lot at the start about Aeson wanting to protect his kids. And there's a lot about like, I don't want them to live in a world like the blah, blah, blah. I'm still, after 10 million pages, kind of wondering if the Empire is that bad.
Is the Lorian Empire that bad?
It's like his children aren't slaves. They live a pretty good life. Except for that Aeson drags them around and is trying to incite rebellion. But like they could have a normal life if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They just won't because of Aeson. But like, there, that is something I still find myself thinking about, is like the urgency that our characters feel versus the on the ground reality of being a Lorian citizen, which doesn't seem that bad.
It's tough because we don't know how it's been for like 200 years.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing now is like more like racks are actually the biggest problem of anything. Like
Yeah,
they're
that
the
stuff's
ones
bad.
slaughtering literally
Yeah.
just everyone in towns.
And the events of the end of book 3 are very troubling,
Yes.
of course. But this is before all that. So
right. And Fame is kind of like, yeah, like we've had good peace. Like Empire means peace. This is good.
he's a scholar.
Yeah. He's a true believer, I think. Maybe. I don't know. We've seen him in like 4 chapters.
Yeah. More to come on that.
More to come.
Anyways, that's something I was thinking about as he was really willing to sacrifice many lives for this cause.
I was also thinking like this adds a little bit more weight to like Dahlen's frustration that he's not the chosen one. Like going on the dragon egg trip. You know,
can you imagine?
Like you'd go through all of this miserable shit, and then 2 weeks later, this farm boy shows
this
up.
Stupid fuck from the axe throwing bar is now the leader of the revolution.
It really puts it in a very funny perspective. Yeah. Like I get his frustration. I get it a lot more now.
Completely reasonable.
But I'm also curious how they didn't tell this story to anyone. Like, you think you'd talk a little bit about your trip to Valesia.
That is funny because like we get a narration of the fall. We get like a brief version of the Chainbreaker story, all this stuff. We've had so many fireside chats in this book. Like you guys would not fucking believe how hard it was to get this egg, man.
Eric has walked 3,000 miles with Caitlin across the burnt lands and back.
They should know every moment of your life that you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have talked, like, if you walked the whole Pacific Coast Trail with someone, you'd probably tell them about that one time you went to the continent nobody's ever come back from.
Yeah. What journey do you think was worse for Eric? Burnt Lands or Valesia?
Valesia, because Burnt Lands, he wasn't really in full capacity of mind. This one, he remembered everything.
Yeah, this one does seem scarier.
Yeah.
It really does. There's no moment of peace.
I would love to have seen, like, when Aeson just leaves with Dakar. Like, the crew's just standing there. Like, what do you think is going through their heads, man? He's gone for a few hours.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that point they're just so fucking over this whole journey that like, I don't even care.
Oh, man.
Just kill me. I don't know. And every journey in this fucking book is an out and back. They got to stop doing out and backs.
So many. I hate out and backs more than
Burn Lands, Valesia. Jesus.
I'll do almost anything to avoid an out and back hike. And they just love going the same path twice. I guess when you don't really have like maps or anything, it's probably helpful.
That's a good point. Also, they had a centaur guard on the way back. So
yeah,
it was a lot easier. Anyway,
that's true. But anyway, we really only have the journey home and the wrap up here.
Yeah. Anything before we leave the land of ice and snow? Do you think these Dakar people are going to matter at all?
It's hard to say.
They're real far away.
They're real far away.
I have no sense of how many there are.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they're amazing warriors. They can.
Well, they don't use the spark, which is really interesting.
But the two things, like, yeah, they're crafts mages without the spark, and heartglass was like another name for that, like, black obsidian glass, which appears which appears to be like quite an important. It's going to come up somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah. You think it's resistant to dragonfire?
I think that's what it is. Yeah,
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Treachery on the high seas, folks. People don't like getting killed, even if you get paid for it, which is, I mean, it was part of the contract. You can't break a contract.
Why didn't Aeson kill Lorian, the sellsword lady?
Kill who?
The chick who sells them out eventually.
The rabble-rousing sellsword who was obviously going to sell them out.
Yeah, it's the most obvious thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, not great.
It's like, bro, you just
Um,
sacrificed a lot of people for less, and just
yeah.
kill the one person who's clearly going to rat you all out.
Yeah. Well, Farda is like doing Coast Guard stuff for some reason.
Why is Farda?
I don't know.
Do you? Okay, I've had this weird thing. You know, like One Piece, where if you eat like a devil fruit, you can't
Devil fruit.
swim.
Yeah.
So for some reason, I have that assumption with Rakina and Farda is that they shouldn't be allowed to swim.
That feels so right.
And so when Farda's on a boat, he's been on 2 boats in the series, in the 2 novellas. He's always on a boat.
Don't let him fall off.
I'm like, he shouldn't be here. He should be on land. Farda can't swim.
That would be such a funny thing to directly pull from One Piece.
They should. He's
Yeah, I
pulled
like that
enough
a lot.
from tropes from other books, you know.
Yeah.
Throw it in there.
Geez, I mean, I don't even like have that much to say about it other than kind of intense fight sequence.
Yeah.
And rest in peace, the Bloodwake goes down.
I know. I guess the one question I have is like, why would they want to destroy the egg? Like,
They want to take the egg.
but the one Lorian general guy was like, fuck it, I'll burn this egg with everybody else. I don't care about this thing.
Well, I just assume that's like the division we've seen between Dragon Guard and rank and file Lorian guy.
Yeah.
Because the Dragon Guard are like, they're a club, man. They want to,
Yeah.
they want to persist. They want new members.
Yeah. I feel like Farda would like, I guess Farda's not in his emotional state now. He's in his like emotionless era at this
zombie
point.
mode.
Yeah. So he doesn't care.
Yeah. But if like alternate reality where L2R were on this boat,
Right.
that would have been
He'd kill the general for talking about burning the egg.
Yeah. Maybe that's who they should have put on the boat was L2R. That would have been fascinating. Except there's no way he agrees to do like customs duty. None of the Dragon Guard are doing customs duty.
No, they're riding their dragons and whispering sweet nothings.
Whispering sweet nothings to the dragons in the high seas.
But yeah, they escape on a little rowboat somehow. I didn't really care for that.
Doesn't matter. Who cares?
Doesn't matter. They get
Hopefully
to land.
they were close to home. Yeah.
And then we run into Rist at the very end of the book.
Yeah, it's funny because I had the passage highlighted and it was one of the do you have it set on Kindle so it shows you stuff that everybody's highlighted?
Yeah, it's like every underline, like, oh my God.
Well, yeah, 10 billion people have highlighted this little snippet from the end of the book.
Yep.
I've got it here. Aeson twisted to avoid a young man who moved awkwardly around a merchant stand. He looked thin as a reed with a shock of dark hair and an utter unawareness of the world around him. His eyes were fixed on a stack of books that sat atop the merchant's table. There you go.
There you go. And therefore, they run into Kaylin, Rist, and Dan in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, axe throwing. There should have been the thunk sound of an axe throwing bar drifted its way towards the docks. Yeah.
Aeson thought more about his drunk son and how much he loved him.
Man, I could really go for some Wyrm's blood right now. Oh, speaking of which, new liquor.
New drink. I'm so glad
we got a new.
it.
Yes. Do you have the name written down?
Elder Fire.
That sounds real nice.
Mm-hmm. That one was
Sounds
good.
like it's got a little sweetness to it.
I think they drink that right after Aeson jams his hand into an ice wall to stop their fall. Which is so metal.
That sequence was out of control.
It's really like, have you watched K2? It's like
when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's such a campy, like crappy action movie. But the opening sequence is like, that's all I could picture in my mind is this dramatic, like, I have to cut the rope. Like,
do you remember?
Dad.
Do you remember the kind of cartoon Indiana Jones ripoff, Johnny Quest?
Oh yeah.
Whenever this shit happens, it just feels so Johnny Quest to me. I feel like Johnny Quest was always grabbing someone by the wrist as they were going to fall off a cliff.
Oh,
was Johnny Quest an American creation?
Had that or like Dutch. I feel like the Dutch do good stuff
Japanese.
Like that. Oh, I don't know actually.
Ooh, I don't like some of these character designs.
Pretty racist.
I don't know what was in their hearts, but I wouldn't have drawn them. It's
like
okay.
Speedy Gonzalez when we were kids.
Yeah, people don't that one. Yeah,
that one kind of got lost. We kind of left that one behind.
I will leave that one. However, did you see that Coyote v Acme is getting rave reviews?
Really? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's like 97% on Rotten
Oh my
Tomatoes.
God. I'm like
People are
4 movies
losing.
behind in theaters.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else about the ice?
No, I think my big takeaways are, there's a bigger world out there, right? There's other continents, there's other gods, there's other little kind of magic systems.
Yeah, they were talking about people from the crew being from other continents, which
Yeah,
like we know Belina
Navarran.
was, but I don't know why it didn't really feel real to me until this book. I was like, man, it's a pretty big world out there.
Right. And then,
Yeah.
so that's one takeaway is like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm excited for more world expansion. And I don't actually know how much Cahill is going to go off continent in this 5-book series, to be honest. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like to go beyond Etheria would actually be a pretty big leap given what we're doing so far.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't expect him to, other than like maybe people from elsewhere will come to Etheria,
Right.
but I don't know.
And then I'm really excited for druids, man. Like druid factions, druid powers. Like that's one of my big takeaways from this is like, I'm excited to see more of these dudes.
Yeah. And continue to be excited for more answers to all the questions we've been asking about why the dragons are not hatching. So
that's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, that's coming.
Yeah, I think that's my big stuff.
All right, rank the novellas, and then we can log off.
What are there's 3
that we've read thus far. Yeah, the Fall, the Exile, and the Ice.
And then the Truth is going to be our next novella. Okay.
No,
it's
The Blood That Stains the Winter Snow.
Oh,
is that the name of the
what?
I feel like he broke the naming convention with
There's
that
no
one.
way he did. You wouldn't just throw the blood that names the winter snow or
Stains. No, it is. I think it's the one about his dad, the Chainbreaker.
Really? Anyway,
don't quote me on this.
We'll figure it out.
Anyways,
I actually rank them in order. The Fall, the Exile, the Ice.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't think the Exile and the Ice are too far apart, really.
No.
And I don't know. It feels like kind of similar. A little deeper on a character. The Exile ends with really fun rune-marked stuff that ends up mattering.
Mm-hmm.
And this one ends with some cool Ice Dragon Druid stuff that I know is going to matter. But it's just hard to know how much it'll matter.
Right.
Until we
I think the cool part is like all 3 novellas to our interview with Ryan. It's like they serve a different purpose. They're different writing styles. He is experimenting with something new in each. And I think they're like required reading in this series. Like there's no way I would skip them.
Yeah. Like this wasn't my favorite read of the year, but as a part of the Bound and the Broken, very happy I read it. And
it's just think of it as a 200-page prologue to the next book. Yeah. Whatever.
This one was short too. I don't know word count where it was, but it felt like it was over very quickly.
If the Fall was like 80 pages and Exile was like 300, this is somewhere in the middle.
God, how many times book 3 versus this? It must have been like 50 times the length of the Fall.
So book 3 was 1,450 pages. That was a long, long book.
That was my life. It's all good.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well,
but
1,400 more.
We're going to be back soon with book 4. I've been cheating ahead. I'm like 200 pages in. It rips. It's very fun. So I can't wait. I'm very excited.
Yep. I'm going to crack into it tomorrow after I figure out what happens with Darrow and Robin Williams.
Hey,
you know what I'm talking about.
It's not your fault.
Listener, sometimes it is your fault. Goodbye.